Hello, everybody. I'm going live on two different platforms tonight. So I've got Instagram over to my right. I've got YouTube over here in front of me. So what's going on? Another episode of Benching and Bullshitting on here a day early, just because. Just felt like it. Wasn't doing anything tonight, and didn't feel like waiting till tomorrow. So wanted to come on here and just talk benching and bullshitting a little bit, and just have a discussion and talk with everybody. So the way it works is I just talk about benching, talk about training, competing, whatever and what have you. And if you have questions, you just drop it in the comments. And then I will try to get to as many as I can. I might not see all of them, but I'll get to as many as I can. I'm going to raise my desk a little bit. That's fucking cool. Katie has this desk that can lower and raise now. Yeah, that's better. Sweet, guys. So anyway, yeah, this is Benching and Bullshitting. I believe it's episode 86. And we're just going to talk. And what's going on? We got Magnavita's over here on Instagram. What's going on, dude? Haven't heard from you in a while. Good to see you. We're doing great. We're doing really good. Doing really well. Brandon asks, thoughts on Inzer knee sleeves. In my opinion, anything from Inzer is garbage. Just an opinion, though. And we got Marlon, of course. And on YouTube, we got Iron Hippo. We got David, Devin, Tony. What's going on? Lots of people on tonight. So, yeah, just wanted to come on and have a chat. See what y'all are into. Let's see. Archie on Instagram is saying, you ever in your prime lifting years do full power or is it just bench? I did, not in my prime. I did a little bit of full power years ago, like 10, 12 years ago. I enjoy benching more. So that's what I do. I did full power because I thought you had to, because to be a powerlifter, which I still agree, to be a powerlifter, you have to do all three. But so I don't call myself a powerlifter. I'm a bench specialist, right? So that's what I enjoy. So life's too short to please the entire world, so just do what you want. And I like benching, so I do the bench. Let's see. Favorite stiff knee sleeve, the Anderson Armor. Anderson Armor knee sleeves are my personal favorite stiff knee sleeves on the market. And they're comparable. They're actually a lot cheaper in price, and they are comparable as far as performance goes. So Bill's saying, what do you think you can bench on Mars? Well, Mars's gravity is only 30% of Earth's gravity. So if you add 70% to what you can already do, I can't do the math in my head. If somebody can do that, if my max is 14 right now, and I add 70% to that, what would that come out to? I can't do the math. What my bench would be on Mars. Like I said, I believe it's not 10%. I'm pretty sure Mars's gravity is 30% of Earth's, or like a third. I don't know. Taylor says Canaccord. Yeah, Canaccord. That's correct. We got Anna on here as well. Let's see. M Shack says, is the F8 custom single ply bench shirt out yet? It is. I actually have a few poly shirts here we're going to talk about in a little while, so stick around. And cool, we got some numbers, 2100-ish, maybe. Devin says 1400 plus 980. 70% of my max is 980. That's fucking crazy. Yeah, 2380 is kind of the, so a little over $2,000, but that's Mars gravity, roughly 2400. Thank you guys. Cool. Yeah, sweet guy. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna talk some bench here stuff. I got some cool training and everything. So Thomas is on. All right, what's going on, guys? The F8 single ply is awesome. Tried it before he dropped it. Awesome. Good to go. Good deal. I've got a couple of doubles right here to my left. So we'll be talking those here in a little bit. But training's been going really well, guys. I am really, really happy about it. And with that, of course, with training, with powerlifting, with anything, right, the Trick is recovery and proper nutrition. Now, I have not been with a supplement sponsor since, I'd say 2019. I got sponsored by a company called Primera Sports. If you know the concrete creatine line, right, the concrete stuff, I think Mike Bridges was a big athlete with them. And I was sponsored with them for a while. They were really big with military. They're like, hey, we want to sponsor you. We love the military. And I was a Marine at the time. And while I was an active duty Marine and sponsored with them, I benched my first 1,000 pounds. And it was exciting because Blaine Sumner was also an athlete with Primera Sports. And I told them, like, hey, I'm pretty sure you're the only supplement sponsor in the world that is sponsoring 2,000-pound benchers, which is pretty cool. Sorry, guys. But anyway, not with the supplement company in a while. Until recently, I just got approached by a company called Legion, Legion Athletics or Legion Supplements. And I have been with them. I've been trying out their products for about 3 weeks and got picked up with them as a sponsored athlete. So Legion. If you go to my page on Instagram, I've got a link there, of course. If you use Kolbstrong, my Instagram handle, Kolbstrong, Kolbstrong, one word, and you go to Legion's website, you can use that discount code off your first order. We'll give you 20% off. And I'm really picky when it comes to supplements, things like that. They are very clean, which is something I really appreciate. I get it. I understand when like a company makes a pre-workout and the flavor is fruit punch and they have to dye it red, or flavors fruit punch, it has to be red, or it's blue raspberry, so it has to be that really sharp electric blue, which is that disgusting dye, that blue 1 and red 40. That shit is not supposed to go in your body. What I really like about Legion, they have no artificial coloring. They have no artificial dyes. Everything is colored and flavored, right? So no artificial flavoring. Everything is flavored and colored with fruit and vegetables. Like it's all natural. So none of that bad shit that is not supposed to go into your body, they don't use. So again, if you want to check them out, they have some very, very clean, very transparent nutrition labels, right? So it's Legion. You can use Kolbstrong. On your first order, you will get 20% off. So I wanted to announce that. That's pretty cool. Really gracious to be picked up by them. It's only a 3-month contract, but if things go well, then we'll go on further from there. So that's exciting. I haven't been with a supplement company, like I said, since 2019. And I dropped off with Primera Sports because they revamped the entire site. Their entire line got revamped, and they went completely natural, which is great. But they stopped making their one and only whey protein. They had Whey Pro 80, and they stopped making it because they wanted to focus on their other supplements. And I'm like, well, that's like 90% of what I order from you guys, so I guess I don't have a choice. I have to walk away. No burn bridge or anything. I just can't be sponsored with a company that doesn't make protein, because that's, being a natural athlete, of course, that's something that's extraordinarily important to me. Let's see. On YouTube, Thomas says, so I have to reevaluate my equipped bench shenanigans. Okay. Talk to me. What's going on? Alex Amond, just in time. I'm driving home from bench night. Cool. It's a good night to you bench on Mondays. That's odd. I think Ryan and his team bench on like Tuesdays and Fridays. That's completely off kilter for me. I think I missed some questions here on Instagram earlier. I apologize. I went on a rant about supplement company. Getting ready to make another trip to see Rob. Got a couple guys wanting custom shirts. Good deal. I bench there on Sundays at 11 now. We switched our times. It was 3. Now we benched 11. This is really hard for a lot of people to get in at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and be there for 3-4 hours. So let's see. Nick says, what do you do for recovery? Stay out of the gym or do something else? I never stay out of the gym. Fuck that shit. A lot of sleep. I'm telling you that how key this whole thing is. Sleep is absolutely critical. So more sleep, quality sleep. Okay. A lot of calories, a lot of protein, a lot of fluids, a lot of sodium. Okay. That's what I do. Vitamins, I do D3, K2, zinc, magnesium. My sodium drink, my salty drink, I make myself because Toby Hurley was gracious enough to send me the raw materials to make my own salt drink, element style drink that has potassium, sodium, and magnesium. Okay, I drink a lot of that every day. So it's a big thing. Like, recovery is the key to the whole thing. But man, sleep is pretty damn important. Bill says, how often should I bench my shirt leading up to a meet? About to do my first single ply competition. Personally, I bench in my shirt every single weekend. Even the weekend prior to a competition, I'm still in my equipment. I don't believe in the whole taking time off because I always give the example, if I only do one meet per year, so I train the entire year and I'm very successful. I go in the gym Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm off Saturday, go in Sunday, right? If I do that all year, I'm very successful. That's my routine. If it's meet week, I got to be real conservative and not go to the gym and take it easy. That fucks up my whole routine and I'm worse. So I go heavy up until the meet. So when I was training on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, off Friday, bench Saturday when I was down in Virginia, everybody in Ohio seems to bench on Sundays, but down in Virginia, we bench on Saturdays. I lift Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday being my back day or my second back. I forget what my Thursday's workouts were now, but I had a meet that Saturday. I was still in the gym on Thursday, even though I had a competition that weekend. That's just because that's normal. That's my routine. I'm a creature of habit. Let's see. Aiden Kidd, thank you for giving back to the Powerlifting community with the Kolbstrong Scholarship. Awesome. Well, thank you for it's a really, really cool deal. I appreciate that. So it's very important. We're actually going through the applications right now as we speak. Jimmy, I dropped lots of weights and my numbers took a big hit. Okay. What's your suggestion to maintain weight and keep on gaining back pounds on the bar? Well, like I mentioned before, calories. I personally do a lot of sodium to retain water weight, to retain strength. And just consistency with that. Calories and sleep and lots of fluids. You need the fluids. Let's see here. Thomas says, my previous gym took away all the power bars. Now I only have 28 millimeter whippy ollie bars. So that's fucked. That is fucked. He says, and the only gym left with power bars is also furthest away, but they only have those deep V-shaped J-hooks. So that's almost impossible to get out yourself. That's a bit annoying. Hell yeah. John Allen says, what recommendations would you give to junior lifters about finding what weight class they want to compete in as they mature into adults? That's kind of difficult. As a junior lifter, I was in the 220s, but then I'm not a good person to ask about weight classes because I just gained a bunch of weight all the way up, 220, 242, 275, 308 super heavyweight. I say my best suggestion is to lift where you're comfortable. That's what I say. If you're very, 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 very strong at 242, like 240, 242 body weight, just stay there. Be a heavy 242. If you're the strongest at 260, which makes you 275, like a mid 275, then stay there. I mean, I don't believe it. If you're trying to go for like an all-time, breaking a 20-year record or some shit like that, and you need to drop like 10 pounds, okay, I get it. But I don't really believe in the whole losing a bunch of weight and cutting and doing water cuts and all that shit. And I just don't do it. I don't believe in it unless you're going for something historical. Okay, I get it. But other than that, I don't really believe in it. Oh, what do we got here? Sammy says, what's your diet and calories? Oh, my diet's pretty much garbage. I eat as much as I can, whenever I can. A lot of weight gainer, a lot of protein. fast food. I mean, I eat everything, dude. So I probably average on the low end, probably 4,500 to 4,800. On the high end, I get over 6,000 calories per day. That's just kind of guessing. I almost read it as big titty, but it's big tie. So my apologies. Says, I started using the Talon grip for reverse bench. Awesome. It does feel better as far as holding the bar. Yes, uncomfortable in the fingers, but I think it's working. I've seen your stuff on Elite FTS. All right. Good to go. Awesome. He's talking about the reverse grip variation where we hold the bar between these two fingers, and it's magical. Every time I host a seminar, a third of the information I have is talking about the reverse grip bench, particularly the version where I hold the bar between these two fingers. And I tell everybody, I'm like, please, if you get anything out of this, if you take anything home with you, go home, start reverse grip benching. There are so many benefits to doing it and so few drawbacks. There's no reason not to do it, especially if you're an equipped guy. I mean, if you're raw, if you want to bench like this, I get it, but so many benefits, dude. Let's see. Full Zodi says, what was the scariest milestone lift you ever had to hit? I always thought it would be the 1K, but mine was underwhelming. The scariest milestone lift. Scariest. I mean, every time I crawl underneath the bar during a heavy day, I usually do something that scares me a little bit. If it's not scary enough, I don't think it's worth doing. But, I mean, I guess the heaviest lift I've done in competition. No, you know what? No, I think the one that actually intimidates me that I've done in the gym, I haven't hit at a meet yet, is at 1,500. I've put 1,500 pounds in my hands twice. And that scares me. That intimidates me. But I haven't hit it in a competition yet. So sorry about that. Shook the table. But yeah, so, but as far as going, I don't know. I mean, that's so far, that's the only lift really that's, you know, got up here a few times. I'm down to the 198 from 220. I'm only 50 pounds away from my best at 650 at 220. Good now, goddamn. Good deal. Jay Donaldson, yeah, dude, I'm doing great, man. I'm all better. My ears finally popped, and I'm all good now. So I'll be back in the gym next week with you guys. Good to have you on here. Let's see. Eric says, hey, Jimmy, good to see you back on. What do you think is better investment, an F8 Widowmaker or an F8 band shirt for building strength? I will not be competing with the F8 shirt, only single ply poly. Then I would just go with the F8 Widowmaker. Honestly, if you're just going to stay in single ply poly, go with a single loop Widowmaker. Easy to put on, easy to use, will last a very long time. They're a very smart investment. They last forever. Good quality, of course, and lightning fast shipping and customer service from Rob and Tiff and Denise. So absolutely just go that route if you want to stay in your single ply poly. Let's see. Big tie. As far as he says, how long would someone incorporate it as in weeks using reverse grip? I'll tell you what, man, I reverse grip 100% of the time, except if I'm in equipment. If I'm raw or unequipped, not shirted, even at a competition, if you see me at a meet, I will warm up reverse grip. I reverse grip 100% of the time. I mean, I don't pronate bench raw anymore. I don't even close grip anymore. I got a bad connection there. Bad connection, guys. I don't do close grip bench anymore because the reverse grip is superior in every fucking way. So I reverse grip full time. I've done it on floor, flat, incline, decline. I do it all the time. So I just tell people just start doing it. Just do it all the time. I do boards, full range, light equipment, Widowmakers, figure eights, completely raw, reps, max out. I do it all the time. That's how much I like it. I don't know if you remember me asking when you would hit 1,500, and you said it would be a long time, and I said it would be sooner than later. Yeah. 2025, guys. 2025. David says, have you picked your next meet? Well, I'm doing the Arnold. So really quick, I'll talk about the Arnold. I'm benching on Saturday of the Arnold. I talked to Keith Odell, the meet director, and he said that there's a window. Sorry. There's a window we have from 2:30 in the afternoon till 7 at night. There's the raw bench meet and then the last man standing. The raw bench is first, starting at 2:30. So whenever the raw bench ends is when we'll start. So it could be 4, it could be 4:30, maybe closer to 5. So if you want to come to the Arnold, if you're coming to the Arnold, I'll be benching on the Rogue stage somewhere between 2:30 and 7. That's as good of a estimate as I could give you. Besides that, I was thinking about going to Powerpalooza, the RPS meet over in Lancaster, April 5th. That might be the next meet I go to, but I'm not sure yet. And then I got to find a meet to go for 1,500 pounds, probably beginning of summer or middle of summer. What is your supplement regimen, if anything, he says. I do whey protein. Again, I'm working with a company called Legion. It's got picked up with them as an athlete. So right now I'm using their whey protein about 2 or 3 times a day because it's a supplement, right? I get most of my protein and calories from Whole Foods. These are just supplements. And I'm also using their post-workout called Recharge. So as soon as I'm done with my final set, I mix it and I drink it. It's really good. I got the fruit punch. And then I'm also doing their sleep recovery aid. I think it's called Lunar. I can't remember. It's in the kitchen over there. I don't use it very often because I sleep really, really good with my CPAP. They're chewable tablets, which is pretty cool. So that's all I do. I also take my vitamin D, my K2, magnesium, and zinc. That's it. I'm doing monohydrate creatine right now as well. I do that as a pre-workout. I'm trying a new thing because an old gentleman at our gym named Bill turned me on to trying beetroot. Beetroot is supposed to naturally lower your blood pressure, which is cool. Increase your natural blood flow, increase your natural amount of red blood cells, I think, and your natural amounts of like nitric oxide, which delivers more blood to your muscles. So I do beetroot mix. It's a powder with my creatine in the morning. That's kind of like my pre-workout right now. I do want to try some pre-workouts from Legion once I put my first order in, and I'll be doing reviews and stuff and videos on Instagram and YouTube and Patreon. So stay tuned for that. I am trying to get to everybody. If I miss you, I really apologize. John says, what made you try reverse grip initially? I've always wanted to do it. I've always wanted to be like Anthony Clark and bench reverse, but I cannot. I don't have the anatomy to actually fully supinate on a straight barbell. I just can't do it. It hurts too much. It doesn't work. So I never did it. And then a friend of mine named Joe Fazio said, hey, why don't you try carrying, I've seen somebody carry the bar between these 2 fingers like that. That's how I hold the bar now, right? So instead of pronated, this is supinated, which I can't do. So I split the difference like that. There is so much benefit. I could go on for an entire podcast in a full hour talking about nothing but reverse grip. It's safer for the shoulders. It places the majority of the stress on the triceps and the upper back. What else could I want from a bench variation? More back and more triceps. So there you go. That's why. Let's see. David says, how does the material and groove of the F8 Poly compare to the Super Katana? And also, will you be at the Arnold this year? Okay, talk about the Arnold. The material and the groove of the F8 compared to the Super Katana. The Super Katana is very, 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 very stiff and very finicky when it comes to touching, right? When you go to your full range bench, very finicky. You have like millimeters of play when you're going for the touch. The F8 Poly line is much more user-friendly. I've only got 3 sessions. Okay, I've got 3 sessions in the shirt that I'm going to show you here in a few moments. The material is not opening yet. It's not stretching yet. So once I break it in, I'll have more information about that as far as like how it compares. I will say they are worlds more comfortable to wear. The seam, which I'll show you, is not on the tricep, it's on the bicep. So the seam is not digging into your skin on the way down, which is super cool. But being only 3 sessions deep and the material being not broken in, I'm getting tremendous carryover with these new F8 polys. So we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Let's see. Raw Strength is on here. Hey, Jimmy, hope all is well. Love your podcast, brother. Thanks for joining me, Jason. I appreciate you. Where can I order K2 from? He asks. You can get it from, I used to get it from Target. I'm sure you can order off Amazon as well. It's very cheap. Vitamin D, which is not actually a vitamin, D3 and K2 are very, very, very cheap. And actually Legion, which I was talking about earlier, has a supplement on their website, which is a pill form of D3 and K2 combined. That's pretty cool. So I'll probably end up doing that as well. Save me some money, even though it's not that much. But I will order D3 and K2 combined in a pill form from Legion, which if you're just hopping on here as well, if you go to Legion, okay, which is Legion Athletics or the supplement line, right? Kolbstrong as a discount code on your first order is 20% off. Okay. Let's see. K Samper 305, good question. What are your usual markers per bench session that lets you know you're progressing? Well, either more weight or more reps, or any combination of those two off, say, like lower boards. A 1 board as opposed to a 2 board, or a half board opposed to a 1 board, or a double as opposed to a single the last time I tried this weight, or how fucked up I am after I do a huge weight. The last time I did 1,500 pounds, which was at Rob's, it's on YouTube. It's on Patreon. I didn't put it on public or anything. That really got me good. But if I go for it the next time and I'm less fucked up, then that's progress for me. So kind of arbitrary, kind of simple, like overly simple explanation. Let's see. All right. I am caught up. Cool. I'm caught up, guys. Cool, guys. Let's see. Anyway, so it's been going real well. And what I did put out as public recently, I don't do a lot of public stuff anymore. I do a lot of Patreon. Okay. So I'm on Patreon. So I advertise Patreon as being, how do I advertise it? As being the behind the scenes training of all the things I do. What's up, George? So, I post these big benches. The most recent one on Instagram, I post once every couple of months now, was my 1,200 pounds for 10 reps from a 1 board height. Huge PR for me, because the last time I did 1,200 for 10 was like a year ago or more, and it was off a 2 board, probably like a year and a half ago. So doing a year and a half, not even trying or attempting that, and doing it off of a 1 board. So I matched the reps, but I went down in the board height. That was pretty huge for me. But all the behind the scenes stuff, the back work, the 2 back days a week, actually, the forearm work, the secondary bench day, all that stuff is on Patreon. That's www.patreon.com/Kolbstrong, my Instagram handle. Everything I do is Kolbstrong, right? So all that training, all the behind the scenes footage, every rep of every set that I do in the gym is available there with full commentary over top of it, talking about why I'm doing it this way, how I felt about this, why this has changed, why I tried this and didn't like it, I tried this and really liked it. It's all there. And it's a very exciting time for me because we are currently training for that 1,500 pound bench, that elusive, but very, very like realistic 1,500 pound bench right now. And all the training for it is on Patreon right now. $10 a month. It is $10 a month. I didn't want to make it 20 or 30 or 40 or 50. I wanted to make it very, very affordable and reasonable. $10 a month. You can watch everything I do on Patreon. And thank you, Thomas, for reminding everybody to please hit the thumbs up if you're on YouTube and like the video. Really appreciate that. It helps me, lets me know that you like the live and want me to keep doing them. George says, when will you start back squatting again after 1,500? Yeah, I think because I'm going to probably end at 1,500 pounds. Not going to go any higher than that. I don't have the desire to. Although I say that now, that might change later. So yeah, if I don't want to go any higher than 1,500 pounds, then I will start squatting after that. Second to none says, how many reps could you do with the 700 pound AMRAP now? What would it take to get more than 40? It takes some guts, man. That was a hard set. I did 700 pounds for 40 reps, full range, in a Widowmaker, I think like a year and a half or 2 years ago. And so far, that's been my all-time best rep PR with 700. That was tough. That is a tough, very, very unforgiving set. So I haven't tried it in a while. Might have to here soon. Let's see. Where are we at here? Iron Hippo, I have developed tendonitis from equipped benching. I am sorry to hear that. That is not good. I hope you can get over it. What are your goals once 1,500 pounds is accomplished? Will you go into full power? I guess I touched on that just a little bit. I do eventually want to go full power. The disadvantage I have is I've not been squatting almost at all the last 10, 12 years. So for me, I'd be going up against guys who have been doing full power this whole time and develop that body tolerance and that shoulder capability to hold a bar on your back. I can't put an empty bar on my back right now. I don't have the mobility for it. So starting over, basically, and having to relearn how to squat and how to put the bar on my back and the shoulder pain, that's going to really suck. But if I do 1,500 pounds and I'm like, well, I'm only 100 pounds away from 1,600, I get a funny fucking thought in my head like that, then I won't squat. And I can't squat because that's going to fuck with my shoulders. And then my bench progress will be stunted from that. So other goals, I don't know. I eventually want to be able to deadlift 800 pounds. That's a lot. I could pull 800 pounds and never deadlift again. Because I don't have the body for deadlift. I am not a deadlift body. So if I could pull 800 pounds, that would be amazing. In any way, sumo, conventional, don't care. Equipped, don't care. Just strapless, 800 pounds. I pull hook grip, so I got that benefit. Although my thumbs are not quite up to par yet, but I'm getting there. So, 800-pound deadlift. If I did full power, I'd obviously want the biggest total of all time. That's that's just the way my brain works. But most of my goals, you ask what my bench goals are, either in training or in, in a meet, and it could go on forever. Owen and Taylor. Owen says you pulled it. No, I did not. I pulled my best from the floor right now is 725. I was saying my life goal is to pull 800. I could pull 800 and be happy and never deadlift ever again. That's what I was saying. My best pull from the floor to date is 725. Pull 600 like butter, Taylor says. So yeah, I have not pulled 8 yet. But I'm 75 pounds from it, so that's pretty cool. Got you beat. To be fair, from the floor, I've only hook gripped 675. So I use straps. So I don't got you beat, actually. I use straps to do the 725 because I just could not. After I pulled the 7 plates, I could not go up 50 more pounds and do it again. See you soon, buddy. Yeah, see you at the Arnold, dude. Tell Katie I said hello, he says. Awesome. Good deal. Good to have you on here. Alonzo, what's up, man? He says, everything Jim. Must be everything. Yeah, everything's good, I think. Thomas, shoulder pain that feels like in the front, Jimmy, and whenever you let go of the bar, it almost instantly is gone. Are you asking what that is, or are you asking if I have that experience? Landon says, do you like the 2.0 F8 bandy compared to the OG? I like the design. I like that the sleeves are very, very short, which is great for me because all my shirts from Rob have to be full custom to accommodate my extra short humerus bones. I guess I have short. I guess my humerus bones are abnormally short, so I don't know. All my shit has to be custom, but I've only benched in the 2.0, I think once or twice. And both times I had one that was like, I'd say a size to 2 sizes too big. So I like it. I like the design. It doesn't even have a scoop in it. It's straight across. But when you put it on, it's down here. You know what I mean? So the design is fucking genius. I mean, of course, coming out from F8 Customs, I mean, Rob and Tiff and Denise are just, I always tell people to think of them as custom hot rod mechanics that can just fucking do anything that your heart's desire and anything you can dream of, they can make. So, no, I don't have hardly any experience in the 2.0. Once I have one that fits properly, I'll obviously have more information about it. And all that training and all those experimenting with different things will obviously be on Patreon. Let's see here. Thomas is asking, no, if you experience that with the squatting part, it's not really my front delt. It's like my internal shoulder, like my rotator cuffs are just being twisted like a fucking broomstick handle. So no, it's just terrible, terrible fucking shoulder pain. It's just bad. I don't have the mobility for it. I know how to stretch for it. I just have no reason to do it right now and sacrifice the longevity of my bench prowess. So talking about these F8 polys, I have 2 of them here, but we'll talk about one because they're practically the same thing. But I'll back up a little bit. This is what we got. So here we are. This is the one I've been using primarily, and they are awesome pieces. I mean, this material is buttery smooth. I'll talk about the arm seams right now. So if I put this on, right, so I'm going to slip this on. Notice how the seam of the sleeve is not back here on the tricep. It's more or less near the bicep. Okay, so it's right here on the bicep. This seam is normally back here. When you're bringing a big weight down, that seam is digging into your skin. If I flip the shirt inside out, you can see all this material here. This fin right here is the seam of the shirt, of the sleeve. So if the seam was on the back of the arm, that would be tearing into your skin the entire lift. So that's awesome. That is a huge step forward. Also, the scoop on this thing, I mean, look at that. That's how far this thing is scooped. Okay. So we're calling this the metal, or it's modeled after the metal patterns, but we're calling this the ace cut. Okay. But this is an amazing poly shirt. I've been in this shirt 3 sessions, and I haven't quite got it to open up yet. But they're so awesome to wear. They don't cut you open. They're very, very user friendly. Okay, this is a 2-ply, 1 Velcro closure in the back, but that scoop is just fucking insane. So I'm really excited to be working in these. I have a couple of multiply numbers. We'll call them records just for lay terms that I really want to get into. So I have no choice but to get back into poly in order to get those records. Let's see. Brandon says, goes on a lot easier than some of the single ply kit by the looks of it. Yeah, I mean, I can almost get into those things by myself. I need a little bit of, help getting the sleeves on all the way. But let's see, this one here, these are both 2-ply. Let's see. This one is the 56. So this is, in fact, the one I've been using the most. This is the smaller of the 2 that I have. Again, 3 sessions total in this thing. And I'm blown away by the quality, but also the performance. The material is very, very peculiar material. It's, like I said, it's very buttery smooth, and it doesn't cut you open at all. Again, it helps that the arm seam is near the bicep, not on the back on the tricep. But it's going to be very interesting. Once the material starts to actually give and move and stretch and deform, the amount of return I'm getting out of this stuff with it not being broken in is pretty incredible alone. But that's the thing. When you get a brand new shirt, you have these very tightly woven fibers that are very, very stiff, tightly packed together. I got to take lightweight and start making it'll support the weight you're taking down, but the shirt itself is not actually the material is not moving very much. So we got to take these tightly woven fibers and start making them move with repetition. And then eventually they'll start to loosen up a little bit, and the material will actually start to stretch and move and then come back. That's what you got to do. That's why, if you're on Patreon watching all my poly work, all my poly lifts so far have all been muscle lifts. Just all very, very slow, grinding muscle lifts, because the material itself is not moving. It's supporting the weight on the way down, but it's not returning anything. It's not getting any kind of return. So they're not band shirts. They're not band shirts. But yeah, like I said, very excited. Let's see. I think I am behind. Give me 1 second. Landon, how do you jack a band shirt compared to torquing the sleeves and pulling the collar down on the polys? Very good question. You have to take the entire shirt off and physically place it in a lower position, and then re-Velcro it, put your belt on, cinch it tight, and then swim into it in that lower position. You cannot put a band shirt on and fully seat into it and then have somebody come over and pull it down like a poly. That's not going to work. It's going to ride right back up where it went. So if you want to jack the shirt down, you have to take it off, physically move it to the lower position, re-Velcro, re-belt, and then get back into it. So my shirt comes off completely between every attempt, whether I'm at a meet or in the gym. It comes completely off. Iron Hippo, good question. What do you think is more impressive between your 1400 Unlimited and your 1120 single ply? Close friends of mine will say that my 1120 single ply is the most impressive lift I've ever done. So I partially agree. The 1400 was just fucking insane because of obviously the sheer amount of weight and the fact that we did it on, at the time, the strongest barbell on the market was the Sportcraft bench bar. And that bench bar turned into a pool noodle at 1,400 pounds. And I was somehow able to correct the whip and the oscillation, which you can't stop once it begins, but you can kind of try to correct it and ride it up. So given that, I didn't have to experience, that's the thing, I didn't have to experience the problems I had with 1,400. I didn't have to experience those problems with 1120. When I did the 1120, it was the heaviest bench ever done regardless of gear. I beat all the band shirt guys in the single ply polyester katana. But I didn't have to experience the things that I am experiencing now with the 1,400, with the 1,300, 1,350. So it's kind of hard to compare them and say which one was more impressive. But the 1120 absolutely is one of my most favorite lifts I've ever done. Holy shit. I mean, and the timing of it was perfect. Obviously now I'm not going to achieve the heaviest bench ever done in a single ply poly. It's just not going to happen now because the weight's way too high. So, but yeah, that's a good question. It's hard. It's hard. Each one had its own challenges. But now that Rob has taken upon himself to make a barbell worthy of a 1,500 pound bench, I don't have to work. So I think this is kind of a revelation I had, if that's the right word. But I think that benching 1,500 pounds will be easier than benching the 1,400. And I say that because we now have the proper barbell that can handle that kind of load. That's what I think. So now that we've corrected the topic of bar, whip, and oscillation, because I've gone up to 1,500 pounds twice on this barbell that he made me, and it's as straight as a fucking arrow with 1,500 pounds. It does not whip or oscillate at all. So yes, it's going to be heavier. Yes, it's very fucking heavy, but the actual completion of the lift, I think overall will be easier because it's just weight on the bar. It's not weight on the bar plus effect that the weight is having on the bar. See, if you zoom in on my 1400, the view from the side, zoom in to where I'm touching. When I go for the touch, you can see the bar fucking, like whip back and forth as I'm going for the touch. Then I push, the bar stops, and then the bar starts going back and forth again as I'm locking the weight. It's hard to describe, but and every time the bar whips or oscillates, I have to correct that whip, which is why my forearms were always so goddamn sore. So I have to correct this the whole way up with a fucking 1,400 pound barbell. So yeah, 1,500 pounds will be heavier, but I think it'll be easier because it's just weight in my hands, not weight plus this shit. Oh, he took a trip to 814 yesterday and used that bar. It was insane. Awesome. Good deal. It's a monster. And that knurling is nice because it's not going to poke holes in your hands. He made it with a knurling he calls volcano style, where it comes up and then flattens at the top. So they're not points. They're flat on the top. So technically there's more surface area in contact with your hands while still providing an awesome grip. But yeah, it's a hardcore thing, man. So good, great question. I went down a rabbit hole with that one. Awesome. Let's see. Samper 305. In the case of going raw to gear, is it easier to go into a bench shirt versus learning to bench an actual bench shirt? Well, and you mean a poly bench shirt. I mean, bench shirt to bench shirt, they're different because it's poly to band shirt. But yeah, yes, a band shirt ultimately I think will be easier to learn versus a poly. Poly is so damn technical and finicky. The band shirts still have a groove. You still have to learn how to do it properly. A lot can go wrong. But yeah, the ease is going to be a little bit easier with a band shirt. Let's see. Landon says, did you have to get the Velcro part extended? The reason I ask is I got a custom one and the Velcro is not quite big enough. Yes, the Velcro on my polys has to be extended. I don't know if you can see where they extended it or not. Yes. So here's the stock Velcro. And then right there, that stitching right there, that's the extended Velcro. Another 8 to 12 inches. So yes, mine did have to be extended because I'm a big boy. And the stock Velcro was not quite long enough for my big belly. Okay, good deal. Yeah, so we're caught up again. But yeah, dude, everything's cool. I was not at 814 this weekend. I had an inner ear infection. I was come off of being sick. I would feel horribly guilty if I showed up over it and still make those guys sick. And I'm not going to do that to Bobby, Jimmy, Denise, John, Rob, Tiff, anybody who was there. I was not going to make anybody fucking sick. That is selfish. So I stayed home. Didn't want to, but anyway, it's a 2.5 hour drive, and I'm not going to do that drive to show up and make those guys ill and then feel like a fucking prick. So I stayed home. But next week, we should be there every single weekend until further notice. Because I don't have a meet plan besides the Arnold. Like I mentioned, Powerpalooza is a possibility. I'm not sure about Powerpalooza yet, which is in Lancaster. It's an RPS meet ran by Amy and ran by Alex. But not sure. I'm not sure about that one. Howard Weingarten says, Jimmy, any chance tips on breaking in a 4-ply F8 still having problems with it? Don't wait till the heavy weights to throw it on. Okay. So throw it on earlier. So let's just say I don't know. I'm just easy weight. If 800 pounds is like a heavy working set for you, so you throw your shirt on around 700 pounds or work your way up to 8, Throw your shirt on at like 500 pounds. Yes, it's not going to move very far. It's going to move a few inches or a couple of, very, very little. But the more you can get into it, the more the material is going to move. And even the lightweights can help kind of break in the material. That's one of the biggest things. Don't wait till so late into your training to put the shirt on. So if you're having trouble with it, throw it on early. That's going to give you more time under the weight, more time to let the weight make the material move, and it's more time to let you practice with it. Even with lightweight, there is some benefit to that. So I hope that helps. Don't throw water on it or anything like that. Just do a lot of reps with it. Iron Hippo, does the IPA allow open back on single ply bench shirts and applique straps on suits? Yes to the suits, I think. Fuck. Come on, national ref. What the fuck? Damn, man. You got me in a bit of a pickle there. Shit. Well, I mean, God damn it. I don't know, dude. Check out the IPA website, look up the rule book. Make the correction for me. I'm almost certain. So the IPA doesn't have divisions. They just have equipped. Now, when I did the 1120, I was in the IPA. They made exceptions once in a while. Like, okay, you're going for a huge all-time world record. You want to do it single ply. Okay, we'll approve that. We'll record you as single ply, and we'll do gear checks for you. So when I did the 1120, I brought my single ply katana to Fred Fisher, the president, and said, inspect my shirt. He looked at it and, okay, it's single ply. And I said, hey, if I get a successful lift on the platform, as soon as I'm done doing it, come up to me, inspect my shirt again in front of everybody, in front of the cameras, inspect my shirt a second time, make sure it's single ply. And he did that. Now, I don't think they actually, if I'm not mistaken, it's just equipped. They don't have like single ply, multiply, unlimited. It's just equipped. And you have to get permission, I think, from the meet director, like, hey, I am doing single ply poly. Can you please record my lifts as such? Or, hey, I'm doing multiply. You have to specifically go to the meet director and do that, I think. I don't want to be spreading false information. I don't think I am. So, but if you wanted to do single ply, I don't think they have a restriction on like it has to be closed back. I don't think so. I think you're fine. And then single ply suits, I'm pretty sure can have Velcro. Now, the APF, which is kind of a dead federation anyway, the APF does not allow Velcro on anything. You can't have a Velcro on your single ply shirt to close it up. In the back, you can't have Velcro straps on your deadlift suit or squat suit at all. There's zero Velcro in the APF single ply. But IPA, if they allow you to do, you could go and do single ply all you want in an IPA meet. They might just not record it as such. See what I mean? So you have to contact your meet director and get that information from them, because as far as I know, it's just equipped. There is no like single multi unlimited. So hope that helped. We got Analog Brain Surgeon. Thank you for sharing your expertise. Well, thank you for hopping on and showing some support. I appreciate that. Again, right now we've got Patreon going on pretty hard. It's a good time to join. We're training to bench 1,500 pounds. I'm really excited about that. We've handled it twice in the gym so far in 2024. And it's a hardcore thing. We also have, and that's $10 a month. Okay. $10 a month if you want to watch all the training that I do, behind the scenes stuff, the back work, the forearm work, the secondary bench day, all the accessory work. Okay. It is all on Patreon for $10 a month. One sec. George says, I competed in the APA and I had Velcro on my denim shirt. Okay, that's APA. Iron Hippo says, I read the whole IPA rule book and didn't find anything about Velcro straps. I might have to ask them. Thanks for the answers. You're welcome. Yeah, just call your local meet director and ask. If they even let you differentiate, hey, I'm single ply, not just, equipped or unlimited. If they even let you do that, I don't think they care about Velcro. Also, we have the Kolbstrong Scholarship. We accepted our applications. We got almost 40 applications this year. It is a nonprofit 501c3 that me and my wife put together that helps younger lifters. Younger lifters meaning 13 to 23. If they're a competitive powerlifter between 13 to 23, they send in their applications all the month of January. That registration is now closed as of midnight, the last day of January, right? So this entire month, me, Katie, and about 2 or 3 others are all going to go through each one, and we're going to pick the ones that we feel like they need it the most, and we're going to cut $1,000 checks to them. Yep. That's what it is for. The Kolbstrong Scholarship raises money through donations and also hosting events. And we raise money in $1,000 increments. Okay. And for every $1,000, we sponsor one athlete of the young kind, 13 to 23. So this entire month, like I said, we have to pick 4. We raised $4,000 last year. We're going to pick 4 athletes out of the 40-ish applications we have this year. The first year we had 3. The second year we had 12. Holy shit, we raised over 12 grand that year. Now the third year we had, I think, 4 or 5, and this year we have 4. Okay. So it's a good thing. It's a great thing. You can always go to the www.kolbstrongscholarship.com. It's a website, and you can learn more information about that. You can learn how to make donations. You can learn how to enter, what is required of you to enter, all those things. So, we will announce the winners probably right after the Arnold, which is typically what we do because the Arnold is right at the end of the month, beginning of the next. So after the Arnold, we will announce the winners, and there'll be 4 of them, and we're going to cut $1,000 checks to them. And they can use it for whatever they want. It's designed for powerlifting, right? You don't have to be in college. I know it's called the scholarship, but it's not meant for college. It's meant for lifters and their needs. If you need new equipment, new bench shirts, new squat suits, if you want to travel and go to meets, if you have to pay your gym dues, if you need a new car, if you want to blow it on a fucking Xbox or whatever, PlayStation, whatever the kids play these days, it's their money to do what they want with. Designed for powerlifting, but obviously when they get it, it's their money. Put $1,000 checks to the young bucks, okay? That's basically it. Right here behind me, of course, you got the banner, Anderson Powerlifting. I've been with them for 15 years as of 2025, 15 years with Anderson Powerlifting. I have a code, Kolbstrong, KLB, STRONG. Will get you 10% off the entire store, minus the F8 bench bar. Okay, it doesn't work with the bench bar. Everything else in the store, bench shirts, wraps, suits, sleeves, ammonia, chalk, anything you can think of. 10% off at AndersonPowerlifting.com if you use code Kolbstrong. Okay. Other than that, I think I got like 2 minutes left. And I'm going to be at the Arnold. That's my next gig. Benching on Saturday at the Arnold. Somewhere between 2:30 and 7. Okay, that's their time they have on the stage, the Rogue stage. There's the raw bench meet, and then the last man standing is last. Okay, Saturday, somewhere between 2:30 and 7. I'll be on that stage. No Anderson booth this year. We're not going to have a booth at the Arnold. So I'm just going to be walking around as a spectator. Hope to bump into some of you guys and converse and get to know you. So that should be about it for tonight. Thank you for hopping on here for episode 86 of Benching and Bullshitting. I'll be back on, if not next week, in a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. We'll see. And it'll be a good time. So, all right, guys. Hope you have a good rest of your night. And we will see you next time. Take care.